Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my World with Nat Relocation Concierge. Another episode this week because so many great questions will be coming up. And one of the big ones that I addressed in an FAQ video was all about budget. And this was, a tough one for us when we decided to come down, probably because we probably didn't budget enough. And my expert guest today, Monica Sourour, money and budget coach. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for inviting me.
Oh, and Monica has something great planned for January. So it's going to kick off on the 15th, right?
Yes, we've made it the 30 days so people can either start in January or on the 1st of February. Yes.
Excellent. And what is it called?
It's called a no spend challenge.
No spend challenge. I'm sure a lot of people are going to hear that are going to think, what are you talking about? So give us like a synopsis of what this no spend challenge can look like.
So it's a scary thought, like you say, as soon as somebody says no spend, well, first thing they think of is, well, how am I going to eat? I'm like, well, no, you can spend on food. However, it's really about using the resources and everything you have already in your home. So, we check in the pantry, we check in our freezer, we see what we have and we make plans. To make our meals, etc. Same thing with our clothing. I really want pieces of clothing. It's on sale. Well, do I really need it? Did I budget for it? Then it's no. The point of doing a money freeze or a no spend challenge is really to get back to what am I spending my money on? It's kind of like a zoom fix into let's figure out what our budget is. And I don't need this. I don't believe I've been spending this amount of money for this. I can save it. And I can save it to travel or do whatever our goal is.
It's sort of the needs versus want.
100%. 100%.
I know that's something I've used for many years now. If I go to a store and I will say, do I really need this? Like, how many of these do I already have that maybe I'm not using? And that will kind of gear me. And, right now, we are we are applying the no spend challenge right now in the DR. We fixed our budget for our food. So that's obviously an essential. Our rent is an essential. Electricity is essential. Our internet was included here, but is also an essential for us to, be able to communicate. So are there any other essentials that we have to consider?
The first thing is that people would say, oh my God, I'm going to do a challenge. Let me go stock up on all my food. We have everything at home, right? So it's really like a Marie Kondo, but for money. The same way she declutters the house, we're decluttering our budget.
Okay.
You're still going to see things on sale. What I tell people is make yourself virtual shopping cart. That's the best. I think I have like 85 things on my Amazon shopping list because I really want it. But when I go back and think about it, I really don't need it because in between I've actually gone and said, do I have enough? I've got enough of this.
Yeah.
So it really goes from soaps to, underwears and socks. That whole Costco thing is, socks are on special. Let me get some more. But we end up having 65 pairs of socks. So it's really about using all the resources you have at home. Other thing is looking what's around the city for free. There's so much that our cities offer us for free. The downtime is the dangerous time.
Yeah. So you mean like entertainment, right? And keeping ourselves busy. Absolutely. I mean, right now things are very limited. There are restrictions, so there's not too much of that going on. However, I think those free items are really important and can sort of boost morale when you need to, when you know that you can't spend the money. Would you say overall your clients, though, in the last, couple of years have been able to save because of some of the restrictions that have happened?
Yes, it's at the beginning, I used to say how much money they save, but I'm going to go on a percentage of their income because, as you know, I have clients that make 400,000 to 50,000. I have some clients that make 50,000 that are better off than people that make 400,000 because they are able to save almost 40% of their income in that 1 month. And the nice thing about this is they don't detox from this program the next day shopping. They actually continue doing it at a smaller level for the months that follow. It's nice to actually have this. Where did I get this $2,000 from? Right?
Yeah. when you physically see it too, it becomes much more real. We live in a land of virtual money where, you know, with one plastic card, you can do a lot of damage. I find that down here, it's a very strong cash system. So we are much more aware of what we are spending, because it's like, okay, this is how much I have. I cannot go over this amount. So we do occasionally use the card to pay for groceries or other items, but for the most part, we like to pull it out and physically have the money. And I know that it's a habit that many of us we don't do anymore, because we've become such a plastic society. So I want to just pivot a little bit. And if you're watching this and you're thinking, wow, I do want to relocate, and how can I make this happen? What are maybe a couple of tips, Monica, like things to think about before they decide that relocation is going to be there, whether it be short or long term? How can they plan for that?
Well, their due diligence, right? It's all about either, you know, hiring a coach that actually helps them, like yourself.
Yeah.
It's finding out, excuse me, what am I looking at for flights? What am I looking at as far as where I will be living? How much am I actually willing to say that this is the amount of money I will spend while I'm there? Because it is very easy to get into vacation mode. You know, I'm in Canada, it snows, I see your background, I love it. I would love to come to you. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. But it's really about saying, what am I comfortable with? Am I comfortable here? I spend $3,000 a month in expenses. Do I still have an income coming in? Am I going to be using my savings? All of that needs to be planned ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Working with you, for example, I can ask you, how much does it cost for a family of 3 or 4 to eat on a regular basis? You know, understanding that I don't need the Fruit Loops. I can use fruity cereal from the Dominican.
Yeah, I think that these are some of the questions that I've been, you know, helping clients with, is helping them identify, you know, where they can save, because anything that's imported here is drastically inflated. So we try and stay away from that and really buy only the local, well, not just produce, but the canned goods, anything that is local is, you know, the direction that we go in. So that's probably one of my biggest tips. And understanding also what the pricing is, right? So educating yourself on what does 100 pesos really mean? What does that look like in Canadian dollars? What does that look like in US dollars? So that you have an idea. And I remember the first few times we'd go and we sort of just put stuff in the basket and
got to the cash.
Hoped for the best when we got to the cash register. And now we're much more, you know, obviously disciplined in looking, okay, this is what we're going to eat this week. This is what we're going to buy. And, you know, we've calmed down a little bit on, you know, just throwing it into but we also know the value. So, you know, if I forget to put limes on my grocery list and I'm like, oh, I see them in the store, I know my bag of limes is like 50 pesos. So not a big deal. It's not going to like put this huge wrench into the grocery budget, but it's the idea of, if you have these habits back home, to just continue them here. You aren't on vacation if you decided to relocate. You may be, if you're short term and you're just coming to try it out, but if you're deciding to do this long term, you have to consider, in my opinion, accommodations, food, schooling. Your kid's going to go to school. There's a variety of options with a variety of prices, because there are no public school systems for expats. So those are some top ones that to keep in mind. And I know people have come down and thought, oh, I didn't know school would be so expensive. It is a reality, right? We're not in Canada right now.
Transportation too. One of the
transportation, transportation is another one. You can rent a vehicle, you can buy a vehicle. That's one of our goals this year. My money and budget coach is that we're going to get a car.
Well, you know what? It's all about, it's honestly, like you say, if they're relocating, I would not ever, for me, think about first saying, well, let's do the budget for the year and put yourself on a goal. Budget is not tracking what you're spending. It is also, but it's actually saying, I have this amount of money to spend on food and this. Get to know the money currency before you leave. And if you can, wherever you're going, try to learn a little bit of the language.
Oh yeah,
Learn the
100%.
basics. You know, it's
Yeah.
100% what will save you actually money.
Yeah.
Will be that
Yeah.
as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, okay. So my takeaways. So plan. If you're not sure where to start, the no spend challenge is a good place. Do you have a visual that we can share?
I do. Let me see this. You know, I always get into a brain freeze whenever I'm put on a, there we go. So this
Yeah.
is the cover of my 30-day no spend challenge. And again, in this, if you do this, it
Yeah.
really is about what you're comfortable with. It's not an easy thing to do, but it could be 30 days, it could be 14, 2 weeks, or a week. So that's what my challenge is about. And it's, we go through all these different things from the introduction and how mindset helps. And mindset also, when you are traveling to the Dominican Republic, is we're not in Canada, you know, it's not Kansas anymore. It's completely different. And we need to think like a Dominican. We need to think like where we're going. If we keep thinking like a Canadian, for example, because I'm Canadian going there, I will always say, oh, but at home we have this, and at home I do this. No,
Yeah.
it's, what do they say? What's that saying? When in Rome, do like the
Yeah.
Romans.
Exactly. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. I know that we've learned a lot along the way, and I want to impart that wisdom. We've made mistakes. We've spent a little too much here and there, and it is what it is. I don't have any regrets. However, you know, it's all about being smarter, working smarter, not harder. If you are interested in this no spend challenge, whether it be for 2 days or 2 weeks or a month, and I think the biggest one for me in this challenge is the self-awareness, because it really makes you think about, do I need, I mean, we don't have Starbucks down here, but you know, do I really need the Starbucks coffee, or do I need the Tim Hortons? Do I need the
You know,
McDonald's
that's my
coffee?
favorite, eh?
Yeah, and I know it is. So if you don't need it, then you can probably take that money and put it in a jar and see how much you save over that period of time. And then you will be surprised. If they want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
So the best way to do that would be either on my Instagram, Monica_budget_coach,
Okay.
or it's Monica@monicamoney.com.
Okay.
And
Well,
just
I'll
to get
definitely,
back to
yeah.
what, so yes, I know you're gonna put the
No, I
bottom,
was
get
going to
back to
put that in the
saying,
description. Yeah.
my clients, the first, as soon as they do this, they go, Monica, there must be a mistake. I'm like, why? She goes, I've never had this much money in my bank account. And just that is such a euphoric feeling. And I
Yeah.
love it. I get goosebumps, and I love it. It's amazing.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to hearing more about your money, your no
Money and
spend
budget coaching, no spend challenge.
no spend challenge. The results I'd gladly love to hear, and I'll put in the comments how it went. And if you want more information, make sure you reach out to Monica. If you are teetering and you want to know more about relocation, you are ready to make this move, let's sit down and have a chat. You can find me in the Calendly link in the description, and we can figure out how to get you here with ease. Whatever you
And
choose
you
to
don't want
do.
to tell them about the bonus, right? So if a client does work with you, they get to have an hour with me included
That's
in your
true.
package to be able to help them set up their budget.
Exactly. Thank you for reminding me. Whatever you choose to do today, have an incredible day, and we'll see you soon at Welcome to My World with Nat. Thanks, Monica.
Thank you, Natalie.